What's up, everybody? Welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. That's the one and the only It's Scott Savage. Scott, what's going on, man? Happy Monday.
I stayed up a little late last night, trying to get a little scared.
There, I like it. I like it. That's good. It's good. We got we got a lot on the go lately, and a lot more in the pipeline coming. Games are never an ending, and just like us at ITG Daily and ITG, neither are we. Where you can join us live every day, Monday to Friday, usually at 11 a.m. Eastern. Today we're a little bit early, but that's all right. You can join us over at twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as youtube.com/c/ITG. Yeah, the official ITG. Yeah, what can I say? We're Canadian. So there's that. Scott! But if they can't join us live, that means they can join us later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Dude, we got a hot show today. It's an interesting one. BioWare's upcoming title, Dragon Age Dreadwolf gameplay leaked, and it looks a little familiar, we'll say. Moon Studios dev said Ori was their Mario, but the next game will be their Zelda. Those are bold words, my friend. And another game, yet again, gets delayed.
No, another one.
At least it wasn't canceled. Scott, let's go, buddy.
This is as busy as our world premiere drinking game.
Right? World premiere. Dragon Age Dreadwolf gameplay leaks, Scott, showing God of War style combat. Yo, I'm down. Let's go. Andy Robinson over at BGC had this to say. Dragon Age Dreadwolf gameplay has leaked online, offering the first look at BioWare's RPG sequel in action. An anonymous Reddit user shared the early footage on Saturday. Dang, that sucks. Claiming that it was captured by a playtester with access to an early alpha build of the game. While the user did not share the entire gameplay video, they did publish screen captures and descriptions of what it allegedly shows. It's about 20 minutes of gameplay involving one segment/dungeon. They wrote the entire gameplay is set in the Grey Warden Fortress HQ of, what is that, Scott? Did you catch that?
HQ of Weishaupt.
Sure.
My German is not good.
The player character is an elvish knight class. The character's screen, it says mid-level Grey Warden, and they've got a sword and a shield. Whoa, that's exciting. But they also added combat is completely in real time, similar to a hack and slash. I'm told the guiding reference point was the God of War 2018, Scott.
Oh, that's a solid guide.
Dude, that is hard to argue with when you want to take a look at that. I can't complain, right? God of War 2018 was an absolute amazing title. God of War 2022, I had to think about that. When's that one coming? Just last year was another solid game. Yeah, if you're gonna pull from anything, dude, that's a way to go. I'm curious to see, Scott. Do you think they can pull it off?
I want to trust BioWare with this project. I really think they're capable of, for certain. Right. But will it find its feet in the launch? That becomes the question in my mind.
Well, yeah. So we've seen some massive rumblings in our industry as of late. We've seen a hardship when it comes to Dragon Age. Kind of actually at BioWare in general. I think it's been a tough go over the past few years. I think I would call it, Scott. Right? We've seen things come out and just not really take off. Rest in peace. Anthem kind of comes to mind. Rest in peace for that one. That's what could have been. Right. So now, dude, I feel like they have a lot on the line here with Dragon Age. Is Dragon Age the title to put BioWare back up on top?
I'm hopeful, and I think it is certainly possible. It's one of their giant flagships. But and it's been so long since Inquisition that I think there is still a hunger for it. Inquisition, it was the Xbox One.
Yeah, I want to say like 2016-ish. Is that right? Sound familiar?
I think it might even be before that.
Maybe
14 or 15.
Dang, dude. But it is... If they're going to kind of mimic one particular game in combat style, God of War clearly works, right?
Yeah.
That is one particular way to go and have a great time and have a ton of fun. Isn't enough to pull people in. Not everybody is a Dragon Age player. Then that's the other side of it too, Scott, is that enough to pull others who aren't familiar, because they are going with such a well-beloved combat style? Is that enough to pull the non-Dragon Age fan over and into Dreadwolf and pick up where the story, because there's a lot to unpack here too, right? I don't know a lot when it comes to Dragon Age whatsoever,
No.
I've dabbled in 1, I dabbled in 2, never touched Inquisition whatsoever. And I don't know if maybe Dreadwolf is the one that's going to make it kind of go, maybe I'll check this one out, right?
I think that's very likely why they've gone to this decision of this more third-person action kind of combat, because it will be a lot more accessible to most people. I think a lot of people get in the door, and when they meet a turn-based or a slowed-down system, it's off-putting for a lot.
See, I like some of that style, right? Like, I'm a big XCOM fan, dude. Desperados 3, fantastic game. If you can get into that, I love that game. The game's so good.
I still haven't tried that. Is Wasteland similar?
Wastelands 3 is very similar. So if you're looking for something that is, I'm trying to think if Desperados is on Game Pass. I have the code, so I don't know if it's actually. I think it was on Game Pass at one point. And then you take 3 characters out on their journey, and each character has their own kind of play style and stuff. Like, dude, it is awesome. And now they're coming out. That studio is coming out. I'm trying to remember the name of the studio. It's escaping me right now. But they're coming out with their next game, and it's a pirate game. And I'm like, yo, you hooked me. I'm in. Like, I'm all in on this team. So yeah, very exciting to get into that play style. But you see then Dragon Age kind of start there, but yet leave that familiar territory that they once were in. So hey, what's up there, Omar? Nice to see you, buddy. So it's cool to see that they're there, but they've switched. And it's the evolution of gaming, right? What is our biggest draw? When EA is looking to invest a ton of money, they want to be able to capitalize on that. And is that XCOM Desperados playstyle still the mass market? Not really, right? We take a look at God of War and how well that is done. What did I see? God of War Ragnarok, dude, hit 11 million in sales now. 11 million, right? So what's that tell you? It tells you you need to possibly, if you're looking to get that investment back, this is where you got to go. We've seen some games that sink money after more money and then more money into a game and not get that return. So it's hard when you're betting on your AAA developers to pull out a win like this, that you need to be the most appealing it can be. And maybe that's why they're switching over here. And yeah, if you're going to pull in the God of War combat style, yo, I'm so down.
I hope it's not like producer notes coming from the top that don't know how to create video games. Like, I hope it's a positive situation that's gone and caused these shifts. Because although I do agree it's the right decision, you can't force the developers to do what's uncomfortable.
No.
Unless they are playground games.
yeah. We'll see how Fable turns out. There's a lot of questions there on that one too. Dude, we're talking about developers. Let's go over to Moon Studios. Dev says, if Ori was its Mario, its next game is its Zelda. Dude, right off the top, those are fighting words, man. Like, that's a big praise if you're going to be able to pull that off. Now, Ori, Will of the Wisps, Ori, the Blind Forest, I think it was, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Are amazing titles. Fantastic. I
haven't played either one. You've told me at length about, I think it was Blind Forest you had played.
Oh, Scott. Dude, these are some of the best games. And you want a tough game? Dude, Ori's a tough game. That is not an easy title. Yes, it is a tough game. Yo, the first
I think of Hollow Knight.
Had that treat. Yeah, that's another one. But okay, let's get over. This is always said over at VG 24/7. Moon Studios, developer behind Ori and the Blind Forest, is working on a new game, with the studio's creative director saying it's like it's Zelda. Coming up to a decade ago, Moon Studio released his first title, Ori and the Blind Forest, a Metroidvania that was instantly well received by critics and fans, going on to release a sequel in 2022, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which is absolutely amazing. Scott, you got to play these, dude. You know what we're going to do? We're going to start streaming again. Obviously, we stream our daily show. We're going to get back into streaming, and we're going to pull in some of these games where Scott has to go back and play these, because that's the only way he's going to play these things. Early this week, Moon Studio creative director Thomas Malher touched on the developer's next game, an action RPG, where he compared Ori to Mario and the next title to Zelda. Dude, action RPG, Scott. Are we now transitioning out of their side scroller perspective into a more 3D world, open world landscape?
I have to interpret those words that way, because the major difference between Mario and Zelda would be the 3 dimensions. Although Mario has drifted into 3 dimensions as well. So I'm puzzled by their choice of courageous words here.
Courageous is a good choice of words for you, Scott. Dude, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and then obviously Tears. We're going with Tears of the Kingdom, Scott. That's what I'm going with, man. Highly anticipated this year, Tears of the Kingdom. Can they pull it off? We'll see. But now, can Moon Studios hold up to their own words? I wonder the rest of the team right now sitting back going, "Oh man, what did he just do to us?"
It kind of feels like when if I'm gonna throw a football, I go, all right, watch. I'm like Peyton Manning.
Yeah, no.
I don't compare when I let the football loose, but I hope Moon Studio has better success.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it actually spirals the way it's supposed to when I throw a football. I'm much more of a baseball player, basketball player, but even then, it's not comparable. Dude,
Fly ball.
Yeah.
Hey, those still work sometimes.
So the biggest question then for me is, okay, if you're comparing the two, yeah, you got to have something up your sleeve. When did we get Will o' the Wisp, Scott? I'm looking it up right now. Ori, Will o' the Wisp.
2020 we see here, but I'm not so familiar.
March 11th, 2020. I cannot believe you have not played these games.
I thought Will o' the Wisp was much older than that by a few years.
Yeah, it's only 3 years old. So they've got to be coming up now close on being able to show us something here within the next, I would say, year to 2 years, right? Depending on the landscape of how big and vast they've made this next game, this next title, going from a side scroller. Then now this is pure speculation on my side, right? That it is transitioning to a 3D realm. They had the 3D depth of the background, but they've layered it, right? It's how that game works. And it is
the 2.5.
The 2.5D is just a layered effect, but it is absolutely stunning what they've created here. And Ori is an amazing, amazing character. Dude, very little dialogue, if anything, right? Kind of set, but it's all set through the tone and understanding the world and exploring and going backtrack again and coming back around. And it's a heartfelt experience. And the tree level, because we were talking to Kyle the other day, he goes, yeah, I played that game. They got stuck on the tree. Dude, everybody got stuck on that tree level, right? You had to escape the water coming up. And I was like, yo, I was so proud when I did that.
Vibes.
It was fantastic. But yeah, I'm definitely, Moon Studios has caught my eye ever since Ori and then Will o' the Wisp. I'm like, dude, this is a fantastic studio. I would like them to stay in that realm, though. I like their 2.5D effect on what they create. Granted, now the studio's done it twice. Maybe it's time for them to kind of change the pace, right? We do see that when you mention Playground Games going from, let's do Forza, now we're going to do Fable. That's a completely different landscape. Where here I feel like there's a couple different mechanics they're going to have to figure out. And man, I got faith. Scott, I do have faith. But yeah, there's a lot on the line here when it comes to saying that your next game is going to be like Zelda. Because Zelda is loved by almost everybody.
Yeah, bold words. You've tuned up the scrutiny that your game will have immediately on launch.
Well, and the biggest thing too now is, dude, they're gonna get compared to Zelda.
Yeah.
Right? Like the automatic. Hey, do you remember when he said this is gonna be just like this is their next Zelda game? And I'm like, dude, you just put yourself in some hot water. Now let's see if you can hold and swim out of it. But time will tell. Hopefully we see something soon, though, Scott. That'd be nice to see, man. I'm long overdue. What else is overdue, Scott? Is The Last of Us has been delayed on PC. Naughty Dog confirms. Andy Robinson over at VGC once again. Naughty Dog has delayed the release of The Last of Us Part 1 on PC. Scott, I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna end up finishing the show before I'm able to play this game now.
Did you start watching the show?
No, I started I boarded the Ishimura instead.
You are killing me today, Scott. The remaster of the 2013 PS3 game was due to release on PC via Steam and the Epic Game Store on March 3rd. However, in a statement published on Friday, its developer announced it had now pushed the date back to March 28th. That's fine.
Okay.
It is what it is, dude. It's not, it's at the end of the month. It's not like it's 6 months away or anything like that, right? Quote, we in the studio have been completely blown away by the outpouring of love in support of The Last of Us these last few weeks, end quote. Naughty Dog wrote on social media, quote, hearing your love for the HBO adaptation, seeing your beautiful photo mode shots, and learning about how the world and characters our studio created nearly a decade ago continue to reach new and old fans alike, floors us every day. Oh, man, it's what a show.
I can't comment on the details, of course, but I've seen that everybody loves it. I've not seen a single negative complaint.
Dude, it's fantastic. So obviously we had the remaster come back around for PS5. Steve and I reviewed that on the show. You can check that out on our YouTube channel or insidethegame.ca. From there, dude, then they come in, they say they're going to bring it over to PC. I'm like, cool, Scott's finally going to get to play The Last of Us. Then the TV show is here. We just finished episode 4 last night. Yo, like every episode just keeps building, right? And it just keeps going more at stake. And how you get introduced to some of the set pieces and things like this. I'm like, okay, I know this part of the game. But yet they slightly just adjusted a little bit for the show that you go, oh, that is sick. Like, well done. So we're not reliving beat for beat. We're reliving with a bit of a beat to beat with another extra little sidestep into it. And what a nice mix, dude.
I'm hoping I still get that first fresh opinion, that experience out of the video game now, even if I do watch that show. I hope it works the other way.
Yeah, no, for sure. But we'll see. Dude, the photo mode. I love photo mode.
I've seen some great photos.
Oh, I've seen some amazing stuff. I'm like, how do you do this? I'm an artist who draws, and you guys capture stuff in a photo is fantastic. We know a lot of you have been revisiting the story that started it all with The Last of Us Part 1 on PlayStation 5 console, and we realize many of you have been excited to jump in, some for the first time, when Part 1 hits PC. And so we want to make sure that The Last of Us Part 1 PC debut is the best shape possible. These additional few weeks will allow us to ensure the vision and The Last of Us lives up to yours and our standards. There you go, Scott. It's just one of those, we just want to polish. And that's it.
Okay.
Here's a little side note for you, though, Scott. HBO show will air this Friday. They're actually allowing episode 5 to air 2 days prior. And yo, let me tell you, it's going to be a big one. Dude, this is a big
That makes me wonder if there's going to be a mid-season hook there.
Oh, dude, there's something. Yo, people are going to be talking about this episode all weekend long. I guarantee it. So when it dropped did I get up this morning or see it last night? I think I saw it last night, actually. Neil Druckmann took to Twitter to say, okay, well, episode 5 coming on Friday next week. I was like, yo, really? All right.
I have a little bit shorter of a timeline to catch up then, because eventually these spoilers are going to hit me on Twitter.
Yes, they are. Dude, the fact that you've been able to avoid them now is shocking.
Well, I suppose I've had episode 3 not spoiled. I know too much about episode 3.
Yep, it was an interesting one, Scott. That's for sure. Dude, Last of Us is exciting. Some more exciting news for the world of PlayStation, though. Discord coming to PlayStation. About time. We kind of knew this was official, but now this is officially official.
There's been a few updates now in the story.
Yeah, I got a press release just the other day. Here it is. Discord and PlayStation officially announced a new chapter in their partnership and another step forward for cross-platform gaming. Discord voice chat on the PlayStation 5 console. This highly anticipated integration is available now for PS5 beta participants and will be coming later this year for all PS5 console owners. Very exciting, dude. There's a couple steps you got to do. Best thing for you to do, though, is head to discord.com/blog/PlayStation. That will get you in. So from there,
that way you can link your account to your console, and yeah, there is a setup if it's anything similar to my Xbox.
Yes.
This is interesting because it provides a neutral third party that we can all trash talk on.
I don't know.
I'm wondering if Nintendo's inclusion will ever get. I don't think Nintendo would ever be interested in picking that up.
Yeah, dude. They just need to get their online sorted out first. How about they start?
Yeah, there's still a dozen years in the past.
Dude, that is mind blowing to me. Like Nintendo has been such a forward-thinking company that they're so forward in their approach to game design, console design, right? The hardware themselves, and then you get to the online component of their systems, and they're just awful. They're just garbage, which is unfortunate. Like it's not hard to
12 years. They really are 20 years behind now. Xbox Live version 1.0 had a lot more features.
Yeah, speaking of, a message that Xbox 360 Marketplace will close in May was an error, Microsoft says. Chris Scullion over at VGC. I think VGC is the only one working today. Scott, Microsoft. No, that's not true. I know it's not true. It's just we seem to pull a lot from them.
Yeah, we're there every Monday too.
Yeah, we are. Microsoft has stated that a support message warning players that the Xbox 360 Marketplace would be closing soon was an error. Reddit user GPro2005 spotted that when searching Xbox's support pages for news on the marketplace. One of the search results showed a message warning that it was closing down soon. Quote, "We will be closing the 360 marketplace over the next year," end quote, it read. Quote, "So we encourage you to purchase any 360 games or DLC by May 2023, end quote. Clicking on the article will reportedly take players to a different message, informing that the planned overall removal was certain digital 360 games, as confirmed by Microsoft earlier last week. So a bit of a mix-up, Scott, in the messaging there. They're not shutting down the marketplace, just some games.
Yeah, it's even more confusing as they go on to list several games here. We have Assassin's Creed, Call of Duties, Dark Souls, Far Cry, Left 4 Dead, Mass Effect, Prince of Persia, there's a good one, Skate, Splinter Cell, and the Witcher series. But as puzzling as it is, you will no longer be able to purchase them. If you have them bought already on your account, you will still be able to re-download. They're not truly gone into the ether. And you can also still purchase these games if they're on the Xbox One ecosystem and up. They're not going off of the market entirely.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a puzzling situation.
Yeah, so definitely if there's an old title you're looking for, maybe scoop it up while you can. You just never quite know. But
yeah, check what's available on Xbox One maybe first. For example, I have all the Splinter Cell games now. I'm safe.
I have Blacklist. That's the one I was really kind of concerned for. I wouldn't mind going back to Conviction. I know that one's a little divisive on a couple people, but yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I really want to replay that one because I don't think I remember much of it.
Oh, it was a solid game.
I remember the EMP at the beginning.
So here's a little tidbit I found interesting, Scott. PS5 owners, 30% of them never owned a PS4. Interesting, right? So
that's a significant chunk.
So I was talking to my wife about this last night. They skipped the whole PS4 generation. So you went from PS3 to PS5. Dude, what a leap in technology. Yeah. And unfortunately, what a loss of games you missed over the course of PS4. Because holy crap, man, there's a ton of games.
So, some of the major hits are being remastered, but you don't want to rely on that.
It was just, to me, it was astonishing how many people skipped a whole generation. Even, like, I know a lot of people will wait for PS5 to come out and then buy a PS4. A lot of people work that way, right? Because now PS4 is significantly cheaper, where PS5 is asking you for like $600, $700 kind of thing, right? So people will jump in on the last gen, be quite happy over there, and then fill their library, and then slowly creep over and move on to the next gen when the next cycle kind of comes around. But for me, I guess it's just what I do, because I love games so much. I always want to play the new shiny, I guess I always say, is that I never thought of skipping a whole generation, man. I was staggered by the numbers that 30% of them never owned a PS4. I was like, wow, that's incredible.
Well, that is incredible, but I think when I get a PlayStation 5, I will have skipped 3 generations prior.
Well, that's fair too, right? Maybe those 30% were over on Xbox and then came over to PlayStation, because you can only get Spider-Man on PlayStation. Well, you can get on PC now as well. But yeah, there's just certain titles. It's only on PlayStation.
Dude, that's how the market works.
Yeah, we do have a couple titles out today. What do we have, man?
We have Spike Air Volleyball. That's on PC in early access now.
Very nice.
And Meet Your Maker has entered open beta. I'm very curious for that one. I think I might try that out.
That does look cool. That was our friends over at Behavior Interactive. That definitely one I want to check out as well. So we should be jumping in that one here shortly. Open beta, Scott, I'm thinking PC only, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's coming to console, but as of right now, it's only on PC. So I don't know. We'll see. High hopes for Meet Your Maker?
I do have high hopes. I want a new IP that doesn't have a number on the end of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of those going around, right? yeah. Here's an IP. Number 2, number 3. Yeah, there's always something else getting a sequel.
We're up to Halo 8 now.
That's a whole other discussion. But Scott, just like that, today's show is over. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the highest in gaming news. You can always join us live over on Twitch and YouTube at the official ITG. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Until tomorrow, everybody, I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.